guys, welcome to Bastion Time. I am your host Bastion. I don't know what this is. Let's recap what's going to be happening for E3 and stuff like that. So somebody in last week's Sunday video decided to post that I should do sort of predictions about Majora's Mask 3D, and that's a good idea, but then I started thinking about all the other things I wanted to talk about, so I'm just going to shove everything into this particular video. So let's just start off with Majora's Mask 3D. Now, a lot of people out there are saying it's too soon after A Link Between Worlds. Why would they do Majora's Mask 3D? And I really don't think it is too soon. It's been a year. I think a year is all that's required for another Zelda game to come out, especially one that they have known that fans have been begging for quite a while, and especially one that was super easy for them to make and I'm sure was already completed a year ago. So it would not surprise me at all if we got Majora's Mask 3D. In fact, it would surprise me quite a bit if we didn't get it. A lot of people are saying, well, why Majora's Mask 3D? Why not Majora's Mask HD? And the reason is, there's so many reasons. Reason number one, because they're already working on, first of all, Hyrule Warriors is already coming out for Wii U, so that's a big reason why there's not going to be a Majora's Mask HD. Also, we already have Zelda U in development. Another huge reason why there's not going to be Majora's Mask HD. If we were willing to wait for Majora's Mask HD until a year or two after Zelda U comes out, which is still not even going to come out for at least a year or two, it's just that's so far in the future, there's no point in even talking about it. But a big reason why no Majora's Mask HD is because that would take effort. Nintendo has already, I think I talked about this exactly last week, but the only reason why Majora's Mask exists to begin with is because all it is Ocarina of Time shuffled around into a new game. And maybe you know the origin story, but basically there was going to be this add-on to Ocarina of Time that would just kind of be like a Master Quest version of it, and Eiji Aonuma told Miyamoto, I don't want to do that, I want to do a brand new game. And Mr. Miyamoto said, okay, well, if you can do a brand new game in a year, then you can do a brand new game. Otherwise, no, you're doing an expansion to Ocarina of Time. And so Eiji Aonuma said, fine, we'll do a brand new game in a year. But what he meant by a brand new game is not new graphics, not new characters, not new enemies, not a new engine. Nothing new in that regard, just a new story. And that's how Majora's Mask came to be. That whole let's quickly reuse all of the assets to make something new is exactly the same reason why Majora's Mask HD is never going to happen, because if they had to then upgrade it to Wii U graphics, then that's basically creating a brand new game, and that defeats the whole purpose. The whole reason why Majora's Mask was financially viable, or at least they thought, it turns out it did not sell. Majora's Mask did not sell well at all, by the way. So that is another reason why Nintendo's probably... They might do it for the 3DS because they already have all those assets, but they're not going to invest in it to do an HD version when it didn't sell that well to begin with. So you're saying that the fans want it, right? But if you maybe count all of the fans that say they want it, that's still not big enough sales to warrant creating an HD version of a video game. So that is why Majora's Mask HD is not going to happen, and why it is very likely that Majora's Mask 3D is going to happen. Next week's video is going to be kind of strange and up in the air. I'm going to try to record videos while I'm at E3, because obviously there's going to be brand new stuff that I'm going to want to talk to you guys about. It's not going to probably be super timely, like you will have already heard about all of the new announcements on Monday, Tuesday, and then I won't have a video about those until Tuesday night at the very earliest, maybe not even until Wednesday. Instead, what's going to be happening on this channel is, sure, there will be those videos from me presenting the brand new news to you a little late, but before that, throughout the course of the day on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I will be uploading footage from the various demos that are going to be seen at E3. Nintendo first party related, I'll be trying to get up here, as long as it's interesting to me. Brand new demo footage with my commentary probably over the top of it, babbly and non-scripted as usual. But then, yeah, I will still do the regular presentational sort of videos, talking to you about my thoughts and opinions on what was revealed, and those will also be appearing each day. So both of those things each day, but to get all of the Nintendo news that happened last week out, that's all going to be one giant video on Monday, and then maybe 2 smaller videos I will go ahead and pre-record for like Thursday and Friday, because I assume there's not going to be that much that I'll be wanting to show you guys or talk to you guys about on Thursday and Friday. So that's news. Just a heads up, Thursday and Friday's news is going to be probably old. Like, you know, this fan made this thing. But anyways, that's a heads up as far as what's happening on this channel. And then I have one other silly little thing I want to tell you about, which is, remember back during that whole invisibility cape, the magic cape thing, I was telling you a story about how I bought a backpack from eBay and it didn't turn out to be legit. And that was real. So what happened is I'm preparing to go to E3 and my backpack is falling apart, so I'm like, well, I want a Zelda backpack. But the only Zelda backpacks you can find online are, I don't know, not my cup of tea. So I didn't really want any of those official Zelda backpacks. And then I had a terrible experience last year where I bought what I thought was a regular-sized messenger bag that was an official Zelda bag, and it turned out to be just big enough to fit my laptop, and that's it. So I was trying very hard to find something that would fit for me to go to E3, and I finally found something that was super awesome. What they do is, it's over in some Eastern European country. They take old military bags and then just stencil on, paint on the Hylian crest, and I was like, ooh, this looks really cool. It's like a messenger bag, but it's kind of old but new with the Zelda logo. It's so cool. So I bought it. It was crazy expensive. Well, not crazy expensive, but it was pretty expensive. But it's just the shipping was like double. So a lot of money. And so I shipped this thing and it arrives and it is tiny. It is even tinier than the thing that could barely fit my laptop. It's my own fault. They had the dimensions listed. I didn't notice what the dimensions said, or I didn't measure it out and go, oh, that's how big that is. So totally my fault, not their fault at all. This is not a slam against them, but yeah, so that's not gonna work. So then I was like, well, I'll just make my own. So I went to a local army surplus store and was looking and couldn't really find anything quite like I wanted. So then I just went to this other store and found just this regular old olive green backpack that had brown trim. I was like, that looks very Link-like, so that's going to be perfect. So I bought it, brought it home, created a stencil, painted it on, and afterwards I was like, I've never done this before, so it was kind of sloppy looking. It was very rustic looking. My friend was like, oh, I'm going for the rustic look, huh? And I was like, not on purpose, but it looks fine. But then I was reading some other tutorials on how to better stencil, and I was like, I should have done that instead. So then I went and bought an identical copy of that same backpack and used the alternate method, and sure enough, that turned out a lot better. So I've got a backpack that I am using to go to E3, and then another twin brother of it that's more rustic looking. So what I've decided is it's not for me. It's not exactly the look I was going for, but maybe it is good for other people. So I went ahead and put it up on eBay. Honestly, I'll be surprised if anybody bids on it, because, you know, I'm not using it. I can't imagine anybody else would want to either, but if it sells on eBay, that's fine. I'm just listing it for exactly the price that I purchased it for. So if you want to check out that eBay listing and bid on my backpack, you can. And if not, that's perfectly fine, because I wouldn't blame you. But anyways, that's it for this rambly episode. See you guys tomorrow for E3 stuff. We'll actually see you guys tomorrow for last week's Nintendo news. Yep, see you then. Bye, guys.